everybody, what is going on? So in this video, let's talk a little bit about Avengers Campus, but more specifically, Webslingers. Okay, so Webslingers opened and immediately a ton of fans on social media have been kind of attacking this attraction and, same old, essentially, right? But I wanted to kind of come to the defense of Webslingers. Okay, so the biggest thing that I'm hearing from fans is like, oh, well, this ride isn't as good as the ride at Islands of Adventure, so therefore this ride is somehow a failure. Look, every park has different needs, okay? It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. The thrilling kind of, aspect that is involved in the Spider-Man attraction at Island of Adventure works for that park. But for DCA, it's a different situation. DCA doesn't have a whole lot of like kid-friendly, everyone can ride kind of attractions. Okay. So when building the Spider-Man ride, they needed something that was going to kind of encompass everybody. So I think it's perfect for DCA in that it doesn't have a height requirement. Spider-Man is a huge franchise for young kids. And, I think it fits well with what DCA needs. Okay. It's not a one size fits all kind of situation. And I think that a lot of fans don't understand that when they look at these things. It's like just this tunnel vision of like, well, it's not the same as the one in Islands of Adventure, not as good. Every park has a different need. DCA needed something for everybody, and we got it. And look, if you think the Spider-Man ride at Island of Adventure is better, you're totally okay. You have the right to that opinion. Okay, that's totally okay. But like this whole notion that because a better version exists in Florida, somehow it ruins this experience, which I think is total baloney. Look, the Indiana Jones Adventure at Disneyland is awesome. It's one of the best attractions Disney has ever done. But that doesn't negate the fact that the Indiana Jones coaster in Paris is still fun and cool, right? Just because the coaster in Paris isn't as immersive and as impressive as Indiana Jones Adventure doesn't mean that like the coaster sucks because there's something better out there. Right? You can enjoy both experiences. Okay. It's not an either or situation. I think the same thing goes for Spider-Man. You can enjoy Webslingers for what it is, being able to sling the webs, that interactivity, and also acknowledge that the experience at Island of Adventure may be more for you and maybe a better overall experience. Both things can exist. And I think it's great that as fans, we have the option for both. So that's the biggest criticism. And then the other big thing I hear is how many interactive Midway Mania style rides does DCA need? Okay, this narrative is complete and total BS. It's total BS. First of all, Disneyland has been repeating ride systems since day one. How many Omni movers does Disneyland need? Right? Adventures Through Inner Space, Haunted Mansion, Buzz Lightyear. How many Omni movers does Disneyland need? How many spinners? The Rocket Jets, Dumbo. How many does Disneyland need? Okay. Boat rides, Small World, Pirates. How many boat rides does Disneyland need? And let's not even get into like the Fantasyland dark rides, which Snow White, Pinocchio, Mr. Toad, Alice in Wonderland, they're all the same thing. You sit in a box and you go through the scenes. They're all the same, essentially. Same ride system. So how many of those kind of rides does Disneyland need? So you get the point. The parks have always repeated ride systems. I don't know why, for some reason, people hold DCA to this like unbelievably ridiculous standard that they can never repeat a ride system. I don't understand that. I think the park can handle Webslingers and Midway Mania, because you know what? Both experiences are different. You can have the same ride system, but at the end of the day, the theme and the way you approach it makes a different experience. Okay, completely different experience. Small World and Pirates are a great example of that. Look, it's the same boat, it's the same ride system, but they're completely different experiences because of the theming, the immersion, what they're presenting to you, the show, you know? And I think Webslingers and Midway Mania are very different experiences. despite the fact that they're very similar in their ride system. So yeah, DCA can definitely handle two of the same ride systems. Disneyland, countless examples of them repeating the same ride systems over and over and over again. So I think it can definitely handle that. So, and also I do want to say this, Spider-Man is incredibly popular with young kids, much more popular than Bug's Life. And I see this big narrative out there that, you know, that kids lost it was such a huge loss for younger audiences for the removal of Bugs Land. I don't really think so. I think there's a lot more kids out there that are into the Spider-Man franchise than there are that are into like the Bugs Life franchise. The Bugs Life brand or franchise or whatever is kind of dead. No one really cares about that movie. Unfortunately, I like the movie, but it's a franchise that didn't really go anywhere. Okay. Spider-Man is incredibly popular. Spider-Man, along with like Darth Vader, these are huge with kids. Huge. And I think this ride is great for them. They can go on it. They can have fun. They can web sling. It's a great thing. This is a great replacement to Bugs Land. A great replacement. So overall, I'm excited for Webslingers. I think it's a great addition to DCA. I think that it's a great addition to Avengers Campus because you got to understand something. The other attraction in Avengers Campus is a thrill ride that most kids are probably going to be too scared to ride. Heck, most adults are too scared to ride Mission Break. I have 2 people in my family that refuse to ride that because they're terrified of it, and they're very much adults. Okay, so you needed this kind of ride to kind of bring a little balance to Avengers Campus. You don't want to have every single ride something that's super intense where you're going to alienate your audience. Okay, so I think that you have the very intense Mission Breakout and you have the more family-friendly Webslingers, and then eventually. Yes, eventually we will get that Avengers e-ticket, and I think there will be a nice little balance in Avengers Campus. But overall, you guys, ride Webslingers, form your own opinions. In my opinion, I think it's a good addition to the land. I think it's a great addition to DCA. I think this is what DCA needed. But what are your thoughts on Webslingers? Did you get a chance to ride it? Did you love it, hate it, kind of meh, whatever? Did you like it? Comment below. I would love to hear from y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. And as always, have a marvelous, marvelous day. Bye-bye.